Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Twin Cities. I specifically live in Woodbury, Minnesota. I'm looking for myself on my computer. There it says I'm live. Now to find my video. There we go. All right, so thank you for joining me today. I consistently go by North Star Stamper across the internet. I'm not everywhere, but I'm lots of places, so hopefully wherever you are, you can find me. I'm on Facebook. These live videos are only kept on Facebook for 30 days, but all of my videos that have been live Facebook Lives are on my YouTube channel, which is North Star Stamper. I think it's Sue Kramer. I tried to change it and it didn't change for me, so I need to look into that again. Check out NorthStarStamper.com. I've been posting more there. This morning, I posted these series of cards using the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. This was a sketch that I followed from Freshly Made Sketches, so that was pretty fun just to get to use everything. Obviously, I didn't finish the inside, but this could be a card for a get well, a happy birthday. It's kind of cheery for a sympathy card, but thinking of you, lots of reasons for a beautiful card like that. This is another fun fold, and there's lots of space there to write, and of course I had to get my stamping in there. That's the same pattern, same Designer Series paper, and I just got the Nested Essentials dies, so you're going to see more of those. And then there's my envelope, and this is a card that I made. My friend Jennifer does mystery stamping once a month, and this is the card I made on Friday with her mystery stamping, and I left that so you could write in there. But look at that, isn't that fun? So that is the Floral Impressions. Again, check out my blog if you want to see what I used there. Okay, so thank you, welcome. Hi, Deb, thanks for joining. Glad you like those cards. They're so bright and cheery on this dreary day. No, I was going to say, if my power goes out for some reason, my phone will keep working, but this would all be dark because I wouldn't have lights. It's kind of dark outside. We have storms coming, and so if they hit, we'll figure things out later. And hello, Mom and Dad. Thanks for joining me. And a belated Happy Father's Day to Dad. Okay, so this is the beautiful gallery suite that we're using today. If you want to grab your catalog, it's on this is page 52. And if you remember when I introduced this suite way back when, I don't remember, probably April or May, this card, this is my version of this card. I used different colors and got the same layout and everything. So pretty fun. I used a lot of the dies and embossing folder and stamps and all kinds of things for that. I was looking at this one earlier, and if you die cut something or punch something and it's just off, you didn't center it right, it didn't die or punch correctly, this is a great use of those partial pieces. If I look at it carefully, it looks, I'll hold it up closer in case you don't have your catalog. It looks like there's pattern paper behind it, or they used a brush to add some color there. And then I think these rectangles, the off-white, beige, ivory, I don't know what color it is, vanilla, I think that's part of the die cut, that's part of the suite, and then the stamps. And isn't that great? Just use those partials. Don't throw them away. Use them for something. They have a couple here that are basically the Designer Series paper put into a frame. There's another one here. So aren't they beautiful? Just so many ideas on this page. Very fun to look at and analyze. So here is the suite. We call it a mega suite because it has 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets. Designer Series paper, an embossing folder, some embellishments, and some ribbon. It's huge. And I'm almost embarrassed to say that I do have all of it. So what I call cheat sheets. I stamp and die cut everything so I know what's what and how they work together. And this one die gives you these 3 pieces. Oh, I meant to bring Tony's Father's Day cards down. Tony, if you're watching, can you bring your Father's Day cards down? I don't think he watches. Sometimes he'll like my videos just to help out with the algorithm and all. But if not, I'll post them. Hi, Alma. Thanks for joining. So these little dies are awesome just for that little extra something on your projects. And that was the Gallery Blooms. And this is quite a large stamp. They focus on that flower on quite a few of the cards in there. This one is so interesting. I love these two large dies. And then these three dies, you can see that they just cut your cardstock in these shapes and then have a little bit more decorative elements there. I've been playing around with this one. I'm anxious to try this stamp with bright colors and make a birthday card. Just stamp this probably in a pattern in some bright colors. I think that would be great. And then some great sentiments. I've been using those too. So that's the beautiful motifs. That's what we've got there. All right, the pattern paper. We'll get moving. I am going to make some cards. Okay. Oh, I have one more card to show you before I get into the rest of it. This is a card I got from my team leader. And you can see that she used just a little bit, a narrow strip of the pattern paper. And then this is embossed with the die that coordinates. And then just one ink color. So although it uses quite a few products, and I wouldn't call, people don't consider this simple stamping because you got pattern paper and embossing on there. But it came together for her pretty quickly, I'm sure, because you could cut a bunch of these strips and die cut or emboss a bunch of these Timid Tiger strips, do several of them in one pass. And then she even stamped on the inside. So isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Kristen, if you're watching. Okay, now onto the paper. In this paper, there are 14 different colors. So chances are you have some of these colors in your stash. And you can always use black or brown, gray, if you have that. So isn't that one interesting? So I'll go through them pretty quick. So make some great scenes. This one, I've seen people color this with blends. And sometimes they'll just color a little bit, but not the whole flower. And even interesting colors like Timid Tiger, Petal Pink, and Pecan Pie. I saw somebody use pecan pie for her leaves. And she didn't, like I said, she didn't color everything. She just added splotches of color. So I love this background. These are very fun, like that card Kristen made for me. I'm going to try to remember to stamp on that sheet. This one's kind of interesting. I don't even know what kind of trees that is. Trees those are, but they've got some interesting texture there. I love the ombre look of that one. Again, this one looks like a masterpiece and you could just frame it. And I've seen this one cut down to card size, and maybe I'll make a card like that sometime. I think I will. What she did was she tore it and then slipped this side underneath what was torn. It added a lot of texture. It was very interesting. Oh, I forgot to show you the back side. This is fabulous paper. Not everybody's cup of tea, as they say, but beautiful. You just stamp here and make it a quick sympathy card. I did make a card with this earlier, although I like the back side. That's very similar to the embossing folder. And this piece actually has some new in colors. There's Cloud Cover and Secret Sea on that one. I love the back side of that one too. And then this little cabin. Oh, that was what they used on that card, didn't they? That we talked about in the catalog. They didn't use a blending brush. They used this piece of Designer Series paper. Okay, so that's the paper. Beautiful Gallery. And they have been consistent about calling the Designer Series paper the same name as the suite. Just to keep you informed. Okay, so what we're doing today is I've created a kit. And for anybody who orders from me on my online store, I'll show you this right now. NorthStarStamper.StampinUp.net. So if you order any size order between now and the end of June, I'm going to send you a kit just like this. Actually, this is an extra kit. I have one for myself that I've been creating with. And I've included several of the colors in here. So if I remember, I'm going to tax my brain here. Crumb Cake, Pecan Pie, Smoky Slate. There is our Secret Sea and our Cloud Cover. You can see how they go together. Not quite the same as Smoky Slate. At first you think it's going to be the same. And then Basic Beige. I've been loving this color. I'm using it more than Very Vanilla these days. So I'm going to, your kit will include those colors. And then I'm going to cut down some of the papers into 3 by 6 inches. So this you could do a lot with. You could cut it down to 3 by 3. So here's some ideas. You could cut it down to 3 by 3 and just put it on a card with a layer behind it. My original intention was this card where you would cut the 3 by 6 down to 3 by 4 and then put a layer behind it. And you could use 2 different designer series papers. I happen to use some of the cardstock. I cut up the pecan pie and embossed it with the coordinating embossing folder. So your kit cannot include stamped images, but I can send paper, I can send ribbon, I can send cardstock, I can send dies. So you're going to get one of each of these dies, the fern and I think this is Queen Anne's lace, I think. And then I'm going to include one of these as well, just so you can see how this works and have fun playing with it and putting it onto a card. So one idea, I haven't tried this yet, is to put a mask under here and then add some color to the leaves. That might be a fun thing to do, just to add some color to that. So, and then I'm going to include some gems. These are called the Pressed Flower Motifs, and I won't include a whole pack. Sorry, they're very heavy. That would really add to the postage, but I'll add enough of these that you'll have some for your projects. So that's any order between now and the end of June. You'll get a kit just like this. And I used my own kit to make this card, so you'd be able to make this. I did have ink. I used pecan pie, and I did have an embossing folder. And I used crumb cake stamped off for my background here. So obviously I can't send ink in those things, but hopefully you'll have enough colors in your stash that's 1 or 2 of those 14 colors. Let's see here. Okay, I've not used this one yet. Oh, I'm going to include 2 feet of this ribbon. It's very fine. It's very soft. It's very nice to play with. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for joining me. Did you see the card? Did you see I shared this card? You may not have been here yet. So thank you for this card. It's a great one with this sweet. The sweet sale is still going on. And while I decide on what I'm doing here, so these products are not the cardstock, but the designer series paper, the bundles, what else? The ribbon, the embellishments. They're all buy one, get one 50% off. But the key is you pay for the more expensive one. So a lot of people have been placing multiple orders, and that has caused a delay in the North American warehouse. They're a few days behind. What was I going to say? So just if you order, you have to be patient and wait for it. Good things come to those who wait, right? This is cloud cover, by the way. And so people have been placing multiple orders. I know some people will place an order with just sweets, and they'll buy a sweet, get a sweet 50%, and then they'll buy bundles. So they'll buy 2 or 3 bundles and get 2 or 3 bundles at 50%. Then they'll order designer series paper, buy one, get one 50%. And now ordering embellishments, buy one, get one 50%, and you can buy 5 or 6 and get 5 or 6 50% off. So, or order with a friend. Maybe your friend orders the bundles and you order the paper. I don't know. So work it out. Work it out. So I did just ordered a die set and a bundle that were both around $40. So I got the die set for half off. And it'll be here next week, I think. Okay, so that's cloud cover. I thought I would use, oh no, I already cut this one down. So this was the boats. Let me see how far I cut. I cut it to 4 inches. I really do like this layout. Those are 3 by 4. And quite often I will put 3 by 4 this way, and then a 3 by 4 here, and then put something in the middle, like put my ribbon in the middle. Here, let's pretend. Where's that one? Do I have it? I don't. Let's pretend this is cut to 3 by 4. So you've seen me do this one, 3 by 4, 3 by 4, and then you put something down the middle. this is great. You could just stamp here and that'd be a great card. Again, this is 3 inches wide, and that's what you'll get in your kit. And if you cut this to 4, you'd have 2 inches here. And recently you saw me in Frugal Friday, I used 3 by 2 inch pieces, and you can mix and match and layer those and make more cards. And here come all the ideas, right? They're coming. All right, so when I die cut this fern, it didn't release all these insides. So we're going to use cloud cover and that. You can see that my scrap from cutting this piece with the scene, the piece behind my Celebrate is a piece of designer series paper that I just trimmed. So lots of uses, lots of ideas, and this is not all coming. It's all cut. I guess I should have done this before. Sorry. Okay, so looking at the paper, which one's your favorite? I kind of like the flowers. They're so easy to work with. Let's see what kind of... All right, and you're being kind of quiet, but that's okay. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, this isn't coming. You know what? I think we'll just use a piece. So I'm going to tear it apart, and I'm going to get more cards out of this one piece of fern. So you'll get one of each of the fern and the... I think it's Queen Anne's lace. Isn't that pretty though? No. I was going to use this one, although I hate to cover that up. All right. I have more. Actually, this is not my favorite. So we're going to put this behind it. Do I want the lighter or the darker? I think I want the darker, and then the lighter I can always use as a piece for a sentiment on another card. So I'm going to cut this to 4 inches. So all the DSP I send you will be 3 inches wide. It's just really hard to mail you a 6 by 6 piece of designer series paper. Postage has gotten so expensive. Sorry. I love sending you stuff, but not if it's going to cost me a lot. If you received something from me in the mail last month or so, you can go back and look at how much postage was. I was shocked. Things used to be under $3 to mail. It was over $5 last time I mailed it. Unless it's just my post office. Maybe it wasn't the employee I was working with, and she's like, nope, it's not, it's rigid. We have to charge more. So there's that. Look at that scene. That's nice. Oh, I kind of like this piece. It goes along with that. We're going to make it very much like that. And again, that was just a portion of my fern. So I still have this piece left to put on more cards. I'd probably put that on at 2 cards. Maybe cut it, put these 2 on one and this side on another. But I will send you a whole piece, and I'll make sure all those pieces are die cut properly. Okay, let's finish our card. We need a sentiment. I am going to send you a strip of Basic Beige. This kit has it in here, I do believe. Yep. Anyway, no, this is my scrap. But I was going to send you a piece of Basic Beige to use for sentiments as well. I just love these colors. And I didn't emboss this, so this is just designer series paper. I'm going to use my trimmer and trim this down. If I remember, that was 2 inches. And here's a trick for you to cut things in. I'm going to cut my this little piece of cardstock in half, but it's so little I can't hold it because it's behind this plastic piece. So it is 1 inch. I'm going to cut it in half, but I can't hold it, and I don't want it to move. So I'm going to use a Post-it note to keep it in place. Ta-da! It's kind of like an extra finger, right? All right. So the sentiments in this one. So the Gallery Blooms doesn't have any sentiments. It's all florals, which is fun. A lot of ideas, a lot of techniques you can use with that. So here they are. I'm going to use Just a Note. This is the Celebrate I used on that card. let's see, just a note. And I'm going to use pecan, no, I'm not going to use pecan pie. Let's use a secret C. This is very dark. It's not quite black. It's not quite Night of Navy. It's somewhere in between. So just a note. I'm guessing where that is. Let's see how I did. Oh, not bad, except I don't like the E on that. So I'm going to clean that and dry it. We'll try again. I didn't stand up, and usually I do, so I can see right through my block. But that works. So that's secret C. Let's finish this off. And it's only 10-2, so I might actually do another card for you. So let's use this piece. I have my glue dots out. So I bought these before the price went up. So when these are gone, I have a couple rolls. When these are gone, I'm gonna make my own. I think I've shown you that. I'll tell you how I did that. Do that. So I will take my silicone mat and some liquid glue and put dots and just let them dry. I do have 2 of these. I think I have more than that. And then I'll use those as glue dots once I run out of these. Because I do have, I want to say I have more space than money, but my space is kind of full right now. Okay, so there's that. I think we'll put this down here. Just for some added interest, let's tear this edge. I tore it towards myself, and you can see that nice white edge. So we'll put that here. Let's put this on dimensionals. And just 2 of them should be good. Doesn't want to come up. Come on. Adhesives and tying bows are really hard to do on live video. So let's make sure I've got this going the right way. There we go. And I'm not going to include the white to go on the inside. Again, that's going to add to the weight of your kit, because I assume you have white cardstock. These 2 cards would be fine without an inside layer, but if you use one of those darker colors. Just a note. And let's add one of these. I can't believe how heavy these are. They're very, very heavy. So we're just going to add 1. And you'll see there are 2 sizes. And I'll send you a few of each. Let's put it right there. So there's 2 ideas. All right. What am I looking for? Oh, maybe I'll be done. Well, color. This is what I was thinking. I will keep creating, but I will post them on my blog. It's been a long day, so I think we're going to be done for today. Alma says, good idea using the Post-it notes to hold small pieces. Thank you, Alma. I've been doing that for a while because obviously things would move on me and I wouldn't get a good cut and then I'd waste paper, and we don't want to be wasting paper, right? Okay, well, I'll just share a couple ideas, but I won't actually make them. So one idea I have, I don't know if I have a card to show you. I do. This is one of my favorite, it's not finished, but card ideas is when you want to see both sides of your designer series paper. This is just 1 inch. So this is 4 1/4 plus an inch. So 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. Those measurements get kind of funny. But fold your card in half and then cut it so that you have an inch here. And then I use a coordinating, or you can use a piece of that scrap to emboss. And then you adhere your designer series paper to that flap and then put this on top of it. So that's kind of fun. But since this is only 3 inches and not 4 inches, you could make this flap, instead of 1 inch, you could go 2 inches, and then you could put this piece, you know what, let's do that. Let's use the Secret C. I won't complete this card, but, so normally, I wasn't planning on doing this, so I'm a little flustered. Okay, so we're going to fold this in half. So for this card, I cut off 3 1/4 inches because it's 4 1/4 minus 1. So I'm going to cut off, I want to leave 2 inches. So it's 4 1/4 minus 2 is 2 1/4. So that's a 2-inch flap now. Now we could cut this down and adhere this like that. And then you see both sides of the paper. I don't know if I like this paper for this idea. Let's see if I have another one. Oh, that's pretty. So you could adhere it just on this flap. What I would do is put adhesive here. Put this on the flap. Let's do it. This is 5 1/4. I won't finish the card though. So we're almost done. Alright, so I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4, or 5 1/2. This is 6. I like the dark, so I'm going to cut off the top. There's a nice scrap to go under a sentiment. I'm not letting anything go to waste with my kit. Alright. So I'm going to put adhesive. Sorry, my picture's kind of messy, isn't it? Hold on. There. I'm going to put adhesive just on the edge. And then I am going to... I could leave a reveal, but I didn't cut it that way. So I matched my edges here and here. I'm going to burnish it. Notice I burnish one side while I'm holding the other. I'm going to hold this and burnish this side. I have had things move when I forget to hold one side. So there you can see both sides of the paper. You can do whatever you want here, obviously. You could emboss this and put it back on top. Kind of sandwich your designer series paper in there. That'd be kind of fun. Lots of ideas. You can mix and match. You could use a different color. This is smoky slate. You could use another piece of pattern paper. What goes with it? Oh, there, maybe. You'd have to plan ahead. But you could use lots of ideas there. So that allows you to see both sides. I think I'm done. Ideas aren't coming, words aren't coming anymore. But your kit could be in the mail tomorrow. I have a kit ready to go. One more card. So these are cards I made with my kit. And you can earn a kit by placing an order at my online store. Let me pull this back out. Between now and the end of June. Thanks for watching today. Kristen said that was her favorite piece too, with the flowers. Yeah, flowers are just so easy to create with. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye for now.